to read my story? Someone is calling me. A small boy named lived in Nairobi, Kenya, the most joyous, most beautiful place on the planet. And the rains were the best time of the year for the people of Nairobi. Ethan was born and brought up in the city and spent most of the day in a small school. That day it was raining, enhancing the greenery, and in the blooming flowers, small children were playing cricket in the fields, but Ethan was busy in helping the cleaner to sweep the classroom. Seeing Ethan, his friends started making fun of him. One of them said, "Why are you doing that? Look at yourself and look at the cleaner. Do you think you are the same?" said another. Without a moment thought, Ethan said, "I do it for people who need my help, not people like you who think that we should not lend a hand to those who enable us to live comfortably." His friends thought he had lost his mind and went away. The process of helping people continued for months. One day, a heavy rainstorm turned into hail. The storm battered the city for hours, and when it finally came to the end, everyone saw the destruction in its wake. Most people in the town had well built houses, so the storm did not do much damage for their properties. However, there was one poor fellow who was less fortunate. Not only was his house badly damaged by the storm, but he also lost all the crops which he owed to the landlord of his farm. Ethan saw the farmer and walked towards him. "I know why you are so sad. Let me give you some of our crops so that you can give them to the landlord." The farmer thought for a while before agreeing to take the crops. When Ethan delivered them, the farmer was very happy and gave his blessings to the boy. Ethan returned home. When he opened the door, he saw his mother standing in front of him, arms crossed. "Mum, what's wrong? Where are the crops which were in the storeroom? I gave them to a farmer who had lost everything." "How much longer are you going to be these kinds of things, Ethan?" He replied with the same answer that he had given to his friends. I do it for people who need my help." Years passed and he continued to help people. As he grew older, technology reached Nairobi people and they became lame and did not want to leave their homes. In the past, whenever their lanterns ran out of oil or when people wanted to meet each other, they used to come out of their homes, sit under the moonlight and talk. With the advent of mobile phones and other technology, this no longer happened. By 2019, Nairobi was polluted and crowded. Ethan was continuously trying to bring back the beauty of the place, but he found it a struggle without the help of others. He was 79 and all his friends had moved away over the years because of the town's sorry state. Ethan's only entertainment was watching television, but even that had changed over time. Whenever he watched the news, it was full of negativity, and the television shows were even worse. One day, Ethan was walking. A man dressed all in white ran to him and started advertising his TV channel subscription. Ethan decided to try it as all others' channels were so awful. When he told his neighbors, they said that he had wasted his money on a scam. He replied, "I can't take my money with me when I die. So what if someone has taken some money from me?" The next morning, Ethan woke up early and turned on the television. He found a new channel, which had a very unusual number, 0. Ethan started watching one of the shows and was just getting into it when there was a buzzing sound before the screen went black. Presently, the face of the man appeared. He said his name was Cameron. Ethan was frightened. How could Cameron be talking to him when the television had neither a microphone nor a camera? Meekly, Ethan asked, "Why are you here and how you are able to talk to me?" Cameron replied, "Through certain radio frequencies. These are forming your image on my screen and my image on yours. I am here to take you back to the past." "What do you mean past?" asked Ethan. "I'll take you to any time period in which you want to spend the rest of your life peacefully," replied Cameron. "Can you take me to 1950 when I was 10 years old?" "Yes, but I would urge you to think carefully about because this process can't be reversed," said Cameron. "I'm sure 1950 was the best life of my life." Cameron said, "Okay, but you cannot interfere with anyone's life in the past and no one should know of your existence in that timeline. For the next 9 days, I will give you a piece of map which will help you to get back. The pieces of the map will be under your sofa and only you can see them, no one else. The next day, Ethan quickly got up and went outside to see what was happening. To his astonishment, he was greeted by the kind of weather that had not been seen in Nairobi for 60 years. Remembering the map, he looked under the sofa and found the first piece. It went on for 9 days. Once had all the pieces, he joined them together to make one whole map. He felt weird because the place depicted did not exist in the real world. However, considering the other incidents, Cameron on the television, and the change in the weather, he believed the map as well. He felt ready to leave his home, but what would he tell his family? He decided he would tell them that he was going on a month long trip with his old friends. His family were happy for him to go. He realized that he knew the place on the map in the real world. Once he was there, he walked for around hours and entered a dense forest with no animals. Shortly afterwards, he saw a small chamber with his name across the top. He went inside and in a flash, it disappeared. They reported his absence to the police, who embarked on a futile search. No one could find Nathan because he was dead. The police gave up their search. The family was upset and relatives came to help them through their difficult time. A week later, Ethan's son found a photo with a note that said, "My dear family, I will miss you a lot. I am going on a trip but for forever. I am going to Nairobi but not as is it today. The Nairobi of 1950. I am also leaving a photograph of myself so that you could never forget me. Ethan." Everybody was crying. They did not understand what had happened. A few days later, Ethan's son went to the back garden to do some work. He was shocked to see his father's grave surrounded by white jasmine flowers. He called the other family members and they realized that Ethan has died. Ethan believed that he had gone to the past, but in fact he had died. As Ethan had done so many good deeds, he could not be killed, so God used an alternative way to end his life. A month later, everyone in the family was worried about Ethan. It had been a month since he left and no one had heard from him. They started searching for him but failed to find him anywhere. All they could do is to pray for Ethan's peace wherever he is. Whereas Ethan was very happy in the 1950s Nairobi as it was flourished with nature, mango trees, feeling of peace and most importantly no technology. He was in the farmhouse instead of a regular urban home, apartment or luxurious penthouse. This gave him the feeling of that young year old Ethan which he used to have many years ago. Now the only thing which he felt missing that was his own family, which he lived with them almost about 60 years. He spent with 1950s Nairobi for 1.5 years. Then one day, when Ethan was just roaming in the farm at morning, he thought that avoiding technology is better than staying in a normal backward way as for 2021 Nairobi. 1950 Nairobi would be backward. But then he thought that whether we should create a green and a clean world with a infusing technology. But it was too late as he already died in the latest world and was an old one. He prayed to the god that if Cameron come and take him to the latest Nairobi. Fortunately, Cameron came and asked, "Why do you want to go to the latest 2021 Nairobi? Wasn't it was polluted and filled with excess technology?" Ethan cleverly replied that I realized that avoiding technology would not reply us back. So I want to go back and want to create a good country. Cameron was greatly surprised and sent Ethan to 2021. Nairobi, which he saw, was very changed. Now, the thing was that his home was converted into penthouse. When he met his family, they were astonished and were crying with happy tears. They asked Ethan why did he do this. So he cleverly said that he just wanted to visit jungles and natures of India alone. Now here comes the work. Ethan started to think how he could work on his goal. So he started planting trees in his state and his for charity funds which was named as Fuse for Life. He also used social media for attracting this. He planted trees and gave projects to many technological companies that they could build something useful. Now the government started to look on this and after they saw Ethan's success, they gave Ethan and the team governmental funds and help. After hardworking 10 years, Ethan and his team planted almost 10 billion trees in Nairobi and replaced fuel car with electric car. Even his team created toxin filter chimneys for industries. They also created artificial clouds for a cool temperature and good cultivation of crops. Deforestation was banned. Homes were made of environment friendly materials along with digital security system. Ethan also brought a renaissance in school by replacing paper and green board with smart board and educational laptops. After this, Ethan was considered as technological cum ecological man of Nairobi. He was so happy that his parents were proud. Even after some times he was chosen as the head delegate secretary of United Nations of Environmental Protection, representing his own country Nairobi. After that he was always happy and determined to work for his country, and he also became a motivation for other countries. Thank you.